talking about a Metallica intro, that's how you get started.
Yeah, it's a good warm-up.
And if you want to go to a Halloween and Christmas attraction, Transworld was the place to be last weekend in St. Louis, Missouri. My name is Ron. I'm always with my beautiful wife, Laura.
Howdy, y'all.
We had a great time, didn't we, baby? We had an amazing time there at Transworld. You know, it was Halloween, it was Christmas, there was networking mixers, there was training classes, exhibits, demonstration, commercial grade products. I mean, all of the big names in the industry was there. Yeah. And we got a chance to meet them. We're going to talk about it on this show. You know, but Transworld doesn't have to be over. You can stay connected with Kingdom Connection on ChristmasContractor.com. That's right. You can list your business for free. Whether you're a distributor, you're a retail location, a contractor like us, or a private client that's looking for services in your area, the place to be and stay connected throughout the year is ChristmasContractor.com. And that's what we're doing right there. So tell us about your experience at Transworld, Laura.
Well, besides all the eye candy everywhere, I was surprised being, you know, I consider a small business in Houston. I was surprised how many people knew who we were.
I know.
It was very interesting.
There was like people calling us by name like, oh, you're Ron and Laura from Kingdom Christmas Lights. How do you know who we are?
It was really surprising.
You know, Transworld made me realize that I don't want to be the Cutlass Supreme of Christmas lights. And you say, what do you mean by that? You know, the Cutlass Supreme, if you're around the age that I am and you've had a driver's license back when I was first started driving a car, the Cutlass Supreme was the #1 selling car in America. I mean, as a matter of fact, they dominated the market for 3 years in a row. But after the third year, they fell off the map and spiraled downward until they needed the government to bail them out. And you say, well, how did that happen? How do you go from #1 dominating the market to begging for mercy and a bailout? And it's simple. You know, you have to remind yourself to always listen to the market and remember to constantly upgrade and update. I think they overlook that. And that's something I don't want to overlook. I mean, as a leadership pastor for Y Kingdom Ministries here in the Houston, Texas area is the other thing that I do. You know, we go through training, but there's different types of training depending on what level that you're on. For example, let's talk about two different things. One of them is your enthusiasm. There's different words that you can use for enthusiasm, like, you know, the passion that you have for something, or your spirit. In our business, the Christmas spirit, like when you're a kid, like a kid on Christmas Day knowing that Santa Claus came. You know, that feeling that you have, it's redefined when you first start your Christmas light business, but your enthusiasm is at an all-time high. On the other side of the coin, you have your knowledge. When you're first starting out a business, your enthusiasm is going to be at a 10. Your knowledge is going to be, you know, at a 0 or 1. So when you're training someone right there, you don't need to pump them up with a rah, rah, rah speech. They need knowledge. They have the enthusiasm. They need the knowledge. But as you progress, you see these people who've worked for companies for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Their knowledge is exceeding above all else, but they're lacking that thing when you first got into the business, which is your passion. You know, your enthusiasm for what you're doing. So when you're training someone that's on that level, you don't need to teach them knowledge. They more than likely know more than you do. They should be teaching you knowledge. You know, you can share and network knowledge, but really the thing that they need more than anything is the enthusiasm as when they first started, to put a fire back in them to get them passionate back for what they were doing. So those are the two things. But as you're training, few people actually make it to the top of the ladder where they have the 10 on knowledge, and they've also have a 10 on the enthusiasm. We met a few people at Transworld, and we're going to talk about them right now.
Ron's going to show you some video from the show. You're going to see a lot of really cool stuff that you can play with and get excited about. It seems super early this time of the year, but Christmas is so much fun, and we do it all year long. So you can check out our stuff, www.holidaydesigns.com. We look forward to you guys having a rock and roll year, and if we can help you out, let us know.
Thank you very much to our friend Luke Jensen. What do you think about Luke, Laura?
Oh my gosh, he was so nice.
He was, wasn't he?
Oh my gosh, it was very enjoyable.
I mean, the knowledge and the enthusiasm, Luke, he's actually like a Christmas light guy. He's a landscape lighting guy. He's a wedding lighting guy. Super nice guy. We're glad to call him our friend. They're at holidaydesigns.com. holidaydesigns.com. The products are made in America. There's a lot of products in the Christmas light industry where you're saying, hey, I have a C9 bulb. You say, well, so does 15 other people.
Yeah.
I have garland, I have wreaths. Well, so does 35 other people. Hey, I'm a vendor and a distributor that can get you these products. Well, so can like 13 other people. But who are you buying from and who's representing that company? Who's associated with those companies? And after meeting Luke Jensen in person, I feel comfortable buying from them. And I'm glad that he shared a few moments and talked with us, on this podcast. So thanks, Luke. And we really appreciate you. We look forward to doing business with you. And who do we have next?
And next we have Riley Tagmeyer from Nashville, Tennessee. And he is with rednoselights.com. rednoselights.com.
Hey, this is Riley Tagmeyer with Red Nose Lights out of Nashville, Tennessee. Just wanted to say thank you for everything that Ron's been doing here at Transworld. It's been an awesome conference. A lot of fun hanging out with Ron and the crew and Augie from Midleon. Just to all the new installers out there, Christmas Lights is a great business. Highly recommend getting into it. Lots of fun, a lot of great people. And you make people happy. Hang Christmas lights, it's one of the best things you can do. You literally bring smiles to thousands of people. It's awesome. People are happy to see you show up. They absolutely love it. It's a fantastic industry. I love it. This is what I've been doing for a long time. Highly recommend getting into it. Check out Ron's Facebook page and his YouTube channel. Listen to their podcast with Ron and his wife Laura. Fantastic content, amazing people. So give them a like and subscribe, like my 7-year-old likes to say when she's watching their YouTube channel.
Thank you, Riley. Your daughter is absolutely right. Like and subscribe us on YouTube or Facebook. We really appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. And thank you, Riley, for saying that. And speaking of Riley Tagmeyer, if you're in the Nashville, Tennessee area and you're looking to have your Christmas lights installed, but you're just really looking for a professional to do it, someone who's been in the business for years and has a reputation throughout Nashville that is unparalleled with any other companies, call Red Nose Lights. As a matter of fact, Red Nose Lights actually doubled this year after multiple years in business, doubled this year because they have this new GM, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, Mr.
And Ray, he's like from New Jersey or something, right? He's a really smooth guy, really nice guy. And between Ray and Riley, they're running Red Nose Lights, and they did an amazing job, and I believe they'll do an amazing job for you. So definitely go to rednoselights.com. But we met Riley through a mutual friend, Augie Roper. And if you don't know Augie Roper, you're obviously not in the Christmas business at all. Augie is with Midleon, USA, and HLM, and Augie has actually introduced us to all the movers and shakers, especially on Team Midleon. We're happy to be a part of Team Midleon. I mean, we've met people like Sean Solenko. Never knew who he was. Sean's in the Atlanta, Georgia area.
Mm-hmm.
Or Joseph Murphy in the Fort Worth area. But between these two guys right here, whether it's shipping, distributing, being a contractor, running an office, the lease program, buy program, switching from the buy, converting from buy to lease, just the whole thing, I mean, just opens your mind. These are two of the most smartest guys in the Christmas light business that was at Transworld. And most of Transworld doesn't even know it. But no, those two guys is an honor to have those two guys as our friend and be able to call them and text them, with questions and advice and things. So we're really happy to be a part of Team Midleon. There's a lot of other people I'd like to mention, like Joe Carino and Fred Zimmerman. I mean, the list goes on and on about the contacts and connections that we've made through Team Midleon. It's really been a game changer in our business, especially starting out and moving up to the next level and beyond. So we really appreciate you guys. Thanks, Augie. Thank you, Riley Tagmeyer. You are awesome. Red Nose Lights, we appreciate that. Spending some time with Kingdom Connection, and we'd love to bless another company with it. Just give us the time, and we'll put you in the spotlight. All right, what's going on next, Laura?
So next we're going to talk about what to expect if you decide to go to Transworld and maybe a little advice while you plan your trip there.
Advice for traveling to Transworld.
Now let's talk about some advice for going to Transworld. If you're going to go to Transworld, you didn't make it this year or you haven't been there before, but you're going in 2023. We looked all over the place for pictures and videos of Transworld, or maybe if there was some kind of forum where they gave advice, what to do, what to expect. If there is something out there, we weren't able to find it. But now that we've been there, I'm here to tell you a few things. First, let's start with the hotel. Laura, what advice would you have about the hotel?
I would say if you are a Halloween haunt person or whatever, the Marriott where we stayed is the perfect place for you to stay. It is directly across the street from the convention center. And it's the Marriott. It's a nice hotel, but I think with the Halloween people to Christmas people being 20-1, we were definitely outnumbered. And they were very big on communicating and networking with each other, and it was just very loud. The wait staff seemed a little bit overwhelmed. I would suggest a different hotel for sure.
Yeah, I mean, 100% we will never stay at that Marriott ever again. So there's that. But I did see there's about 6 hotels that are literally right across the street or even on the same side of the street as the convention center that are just as close, if not closer, or just within a few more steps further from the convention center. So there are other choices. We didn't actually go in there to check them out, like, oh, the Days Inn, but there was some big name, hotels. It wasn't all 1-star, 2-star hotels. There were some really nice hotels there. But, the convention center drew its own crowd, but it looks like most of the people during the year when there wasn't a convention would be going to the baseball game.
Yeah.
And Baseball Village, there's a Hilton there, and on top of the Hilton, they have this sky bar called
360.
Rooftop 360. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this was super nice. The inside of the Hilton was like what you would expect the Marriott should have been. It was very nice. It was quiet. It was a great place to network upstairs. On top of this bar, it was very classy. You had views of the Gateway Arch. You had views of the, where the Cardinals played baseball. I mean, you can see the inside the stadium and home plate. I mean, you could actually watch a game there. It was awesome. If you're into, extracurricular activities like cannabis, right across the water, it's like right there within like 5-10 minute drive. They have dispensaries, and if you're into gambling, they had casinos on both sides. We actually went to the casino one night or 2 of them. Ballpark Village was probably the nicest place that was even around there as far as the bars and the places to go and the nice restaurants and the Ruth Chris's and all of these fancy Italian restaurants. They were all right there, kind of like where the Hilton was. Mm-hmm. And over where Transworld is, there was a couple places and everything, but I still think they were suffering the effects of coronavirus because a lot of them were closed down or takeout only, or the 1 or 2 places that were open, the lines were super long. But that would be my advice. Don't stay at the Marriott. Pick something else and maybe see if you can coordinate a couple people that are going to the Christmas place and purposely, intentionally, have the Christmas people, which are super outnumbered, at least 20-1. Have the Christmas people maybe stay in one hotel to give an opportunity to network with people without having to, go to a Mixers. The only way to meet somebody, if not on the sales floor or in a classroom. But the Mixers was great. We went to
the bowling.
Mm-hmm. Mixer. We missed the other couple ones, but we definitely went to the bowling one. And for me, I got a chance to meet somebody when I first got into the business. I kind of looked up and seen who the best was and seeing who was running these things. And I got to meet one of those guys I was looking up to when I first got into the business, Josh Trees. But to actually meet him in person, it kind of brought my career full circle. That I started here and I made it there, and now I'm kind of shaking hands with people that I looked up to when I first got into the business. So my whole career has kind of come full circle, and it did right there at Transworld. Got to meet Trees, and him and his wife are like super nice. I mean, down to earth, laid back, super cool people. He runs the WeHangChristmasLights.com, the website, and there's, like he said, he has like 27 or 30 different locations across the United States, and he actually lives right in Texas like we do, and he lives on a lake that we actually, go out there boating and everything too. So, who knows what will happen there, but that was one of the highlights of our trip, meeting him and his family there, and all of his kids were out there helping out. It's like, man, I'd like to do that. Another person that I thought was really cool is Vince Palasoda from Inception.
Yeah.
Vince Palasoda.
Now, Vince Palasoda, I'd like to refer to him as a leadership CEO. He's with Inception Lighting. You can find him online at inceptionlighting.com. And anybody who knows anything about RGB is the MeshTech product rules the RGB and intelligent lighting industry, and that's what they have over there at Inception Lighting. Okay, Vince is actually a serial entrepreneur. He has multiple successful business ventures, but most of all, he's humble. He's like a general fighting on the front lines. He's both knowledgeable and enthusiastic, coupled with humility. One of my favorite qualities about Vince, though, is witnessing him teaching, training, and transforming young people, young men especially, into being future business leaders. And that was a quality that really took me back when I witnessed it personally in our office. And that's why I recommend that you have a conversation with Mr. Vince Palasoda.
You're really right. Vince is an awesome guy and very, very kind. I think our next topic is about, should you rent a car when you get to St. Louis? And the quick answer is no. Uber and Lyft are right there. It's a quick car ride from the airport, and then everything is very centrally located. We walked quite a bit. We did take Uber to a couple of the restaurants that we want to try, and then Ron convinced me to try out one of those electric scooters that Uber and Lyft also run out. So it was fun, not really dangerous, and we really enjoyed touring St. Louis.
You are absolutely right, Laura. We had a great time in St. Louis at Transworld, and we are looking forward,
Lord have mercy,
to next February. Next February 2023, Transworld is going to be February 2nd through the 5th. It's going to be right after the NFL's AFC NFC Championship weekend. It'll be during Pro Bowl weekend, the weekend before the Super Bowl, so you don't have to worry about missing the Super Bowl, and you don't have to worry about missing Valentine's Day, right, Laura?
Valentine's Day.
That's right. All your Christmas contractors and Halloween enthusiasts will have a pocket full of money, and they will be ready to find their favorite distributor to get a pre-order in right there at the beginning of February. So that'll be the perfect time, and we are looking forward to seeing you next year for Transworld. But for now, we just wanted to thank you for watching Kingdom Radio. And remember to visit us online at ChristmasContractor.com. That's
ChristmasContractor.com.